It was sometime in the 7th century, perhaps, that the Khazar tribes of Eastern Europe embraced Judaism. When they became Jews, they did so for essentially political reasons. Faith had no part to play in their conversion. Even before they converted to Judaism, the Euro-Khazars were recognized to possess some mysterious power that permitted them to successfully and effectively block the advance of Islam into Europe. Like Euro-Christians, so too Euro-Jews differed significantly from the Israelite Jews. Unlike Israelite Jews, Euro-Jews were obsessed about wresting control over the Holy Land. It was Euro-Jews who eventually established the Zionist movement and pursued the same goal that Euro-Christians had pursued in the Crusades, that is, the goal of liberating the Holy Land. This book poses the question, why this strange Euro-Jewish obsession with the Holy Land? Britain assisted the Zionist movement in effecting the return of the Jews to the Holy Land, something finally accomplished after the creation of the State of Israel in 1948. When Britain, the midwife, delivered the baby Israel, the world witnessed what appeared to be the restoration of ancient Israel, which had been destroyed by Allah Most High more than 2,000 years previously. After Britain had ruled the world for a few hundred years, a strange and mysterious change occurred in which a new superpower became the ruler of the world. The clear evidence of that change was present in the First World War, when US military intervention saved Britain from defeat. It was even more evident in the Second World War, when an American general, Eisenhower, was chosen as supreme commander of all Allied troops that fought in the Second World War. Then in 1944, at Bretton Woods in upstate New York, an international conference was convened to establish a new international monetary system. The British sterling pound, that was universally recognized as the key currency in the world of artificial paper money, was displaced at Bretton Woods by the US dollar. Similarly, London was displaced by Washington as the center of the new international monetary system. The new superpower strangely and mysteriously emerged out of the same European civilization that had first fought the Crusades in an obsession with Jerusalem, and had played the leading role in the establishment of a Jewish national homeland in the Holy Land. The new superpower continued where the old one left off, in maintaining a strange and intimate relation with the Holy Land and the State of Israel. Thus, when the State of Israel was declared to be independent in 1948, the first country in the world to recognize the Jewish state was the United States of America. The new superpower made it abundantly clear that it had displaced Britain as the strategic partner of the Jewish state. Indeed, it proceeded to do so in a manner that subjected Britain to public humiliation. An Egyptian revolution had taken place in 1952, and the Egyptian army displaced the monarchy as the new ruler of Egypt. In 1956, Colonel Gamal Abdel Nasser replaced General Mohammad Naguib as head of state, and Nasser promptly proceeded to give a spectacular display of his nationalist credentials. By nationalizing the Suez Canal, Israel perceived this as a strategic threat to the Jewish state. Britain, on the other, felt her superpower status challenged. In a joint operation that was conducted independently of USA, the British, French, and Israeli governments launched a joint attack on Egypt and dislodged the Egyptian army from Suez. US President Eisenhower responded by ordering the withdrawal of the British, French, and Israeli troops from Egyptian territory. Britain, the former superpower, was forced to withdraw her troops, and the British government of Anthony Eden collapsed. Thereafter, and until the present, USA has been the patron par excellence of the Jewish state. This book poses the question, why this strange Euro-American obsession with the Holy Land? If the European and American, including Euro-Christian and Euro-Jewish obsession with the Holy Land has been strange, the future appears to hold even stranger things in store. Our view is that the world is about to witness the emergence of the European state of Israel, an Israel which was created by the Euro-Zionist movement, as the superpower that would replace Britain and USA as the dominant power in the world. Euro-Israel already possesses enough nuclear and thermonuclear weapons to be ranked as a superpower. Its military technology is at par with the best in the world. Finally, Euro-Jewish financiers and bankers have it within their power to assume financial control of the world through the simple maneuver of causing the collapse of the US dollar. When the US dollar goes down, it would bring down the entire world of paper money with it. This may be planned to synchronize with the spectacular Euro-Israeli display of military power in an attack on the Palestinians as well as neighboring Arab states. Israel will then successfully defy the rest of the world in holding on to the fruits of its war, and, in so doing, establish itself as the ruling power in the world. When that occurs, it would most certainly appear to the Israeli Jews, Banu Israel, that they would be experiencing the return of the Golden Age, that is, the age when Solomon's Israel ruled the world. Does the Quran explain all of the above? And if so, what is that explanation? We wish to concede at the outset that it was not possible for a book such as this to have been written before the return of the Jews to the Holy Land. And this appears to be the first book of its kind to be written since that event took place. Consequently, when we use the Quran and a hadith to explain the strange and mysterious events described above, our explanation will surely come as a surprise, even to scholars of Islam. It further appears to this writer that the Quranic explanation of all these strange events in Europe and in the Holy Land is knowledge that perhaps did not exist in the world before this time. Consequently, it forces him, and all those who now accept as truth what this book explains, as well as those who had already been blessed with this knowledge, to bow down most humbly before Allah Most High, who alone has knowledge of all things, and who guides to his light whomsoever he chooses. Those who would reject the Quranic explanation given in this book must themselves declare either that the Quran does not explain the return of the Jews to the Holy Land and the restoration of the State of Israel, or that there is a different explanation other than the one given in this book, in which case they are obliged to produce that other Quranic explanation. Those who reject Islam and declare that they possess the truth are challenged to use that truth to explain this subject. Whether the modern secular state makes the claim to truth, or whether it is made by Judaism, Christianity, Hinduism, Jainism, Buddhism, Confucianism, Taoism, Bahaism, secular humanism and liberalism, materialism, or atheism, that claim can only be validated if they can explain the subject here addressed. That appears to be the greatest importance of this book. It validates the Islamic claim to truth. The Quran proceeded to warn that the world would now witness the countdown to the last day. Then will the true warning of the day of accounts draw close to fulfillment. Then behold, on that day, the eyes of the unbelievers will fixedly stare in horror. Woe to us! We were indeed heedless of this. Nay, we truly did wrong. Quran, Al-Anbiya, 21-98. When Gog and Magog are released, they would swarm down from every height, or spread out in every direction. This indicates that with their invincible power, they will take control of the whole world, and that, for the first time in history, one set of people would rule all of mankind. That is the precise moment in history in which the world is now located. The world order of Gog and Magog would be one of fasad, oppression, and wickedness. Surah Al-Kahf has described the two defining characteristics of the fasad of that world order as being the opposite of the two defining characteristics of the world order of Dhul Qarnayn. They were as follows. Dhul Qarnayn used power built on the foundations of faith in Allah to punish the oppressor and, in doing so, to establish a harmony between the world order here on earth with the heavenly world order above, a harmony of temporal reality with spiritual reality. Gog and Magog, on the other hand, would use their invincible power built on foundations of godlessness to oppress and to punish the oppressed. In doing so, they establish here on earth a world order which would be in total conflict with the heavenly order above. Secondly, that world order would be one that would witness constantly increasing oppression. Dhul Qarnayn used power to reward those who had faith in Allah Most High and whose conduct was righteous. Gog and Magog would use power for exactly the opposite purpose.